Oh, I was
Yeah.
like way more than me. And I had time to like look all this up. I found I was like, I know I didn't say anything wrong. I just want to get the facts straight. Wait, is anyone? There's only 10 people in here.
No,
So
yeah, I
maybe
just started.
yeah, let's
So
tap the screen and thank God Justin's not banned because that would have made me feel really bad. And like you get banned for nothing because I feel like I do worse things. I've actually been so shocked since I started covering the Epstein stuff. I don't know if like TikTok has changed their algorithm, but I feel like they're letting people kind of say more things than before because I feel like the last 2 weeks, if I haven't been banned for what I've been doing on my live, this was like the most respectful, like sane thing.
yeah,
Yeah,
we were
I found
happy.
it. For a second,
Okay.
I was thinking I might be talking about Tara Reid from American Pie. I was like, am I crazy? Like, am I
Every
like,
time I hear her name, that's the person that comes to my mind.
like, did I like think we were talking about one person? Or, like, maybe I got it wrong, but no, I was right. The 1993 complaint. I was like, I knew it was like decades before. The first time she said it was the shoulder massaging thing, which this is the way, and this, I never got to the point, but it like occurred to me, like once the live ended, what I was trying to say. I'm not talking about my beliefs about women. I'm talking about MAGAs, right? If you believe Tara Reid, you have to believe E. Jean Carroll, right? We're talking about a jury of someone's peers unanimously finding someone liable of SA, right? That's what it is. It's like, if you believe one, you have to believe the other. You can't say, well, what about this person? But I discredit every other thing women say. It's either believe everyone or believe no one.
Yeah. And I don't like, here's the thing with Tara Reid and myself, like there are other facts in the case than just believing her. Yeah, I believe her, but also there are other other facts, like she fled to Russia. She's now gave up her citizenship and went to Russia. She her lawyers fired her. Her friends couldn't back up her story, right? But doesn't mean that it didn't happen, right? But those are just the facts of that whole thing.
I believe, well, here, and this is my issue, because I always talk about, before I disappeared into South America, under NDA, I can't say exactly what happened, but the point is, and I think Joe Biden kind of said this, the original 1993 allegation that he was, like overly, and I think we've seen this of Joe Biden. He's very touchy, right? Like he hugs a lot of people. He's very like put hand on the shoulder. And when you're in a position of power, right? And in any situation, that's how corporate America is. When you're up here and someone is in a lower position, like, and you make them uncomfortable, you've made them uncomfortable, period. If you massaging their shoulders, because of the imbalance of power, it's inappropriate, right? And so I do believe what she said in the first place. And it's the same thing with Monica Lewinsky. Even if Monica Lewinsky's like, oh yeah, like it was consensual, but it's not. You were talking about the president of the United States, like there's an imbalance of power, and that imbalance of power is wrong, right?
Yes.
That's what it is. It's the imbalance of power. When you are in a position of power, you need to not touch or make anyone feel anyway, because there's an imbalance of power.
Yeah. And I did think it was funny when I got him in a corner when he said, "Oh yeah, I believe the children and the women that came out against Epstein." And then once I brought up that one of the people, Katie Johnson, also implicated Trump, he's like, "Well, maybe most of them." Like, of course, that's what he was going to do. And I knew, like, it's almost clockwork that they do that every single time. If they don't know about Katie Johnson, you bring up Katie Johnson, and then they like, whoa, wait a minute. But
I looked up a bunch of things because I just want to be clear. The reason it's not like, oh, we need to believe women. I fully believe in 1993 when she was working in Biden's like Senate office, he probably like massaged her shoulders. Before I understood why that was weird, like in the tech industry, when we were all sleeping under each other's desks, or under desks at night and working 18 hours a day, I did that to people, like before, and then I was like, oh yeah, like, even though, I mean, we were all in the same position, it wasn't like I was in a position of power, but then I thought about it, I'm like, yeah, like, you can't be touching anyone at work for any reason. But this is why when people say, it's not that we're saying you had no experience in 1993 where he was massaging your shoulders. It's that she was caught in multiple lies, right? She said, I filed, like the same thing with Matt Gaetz, you can file these complaints in the ethics committee. And she said, I filed a complaint with the ethics committee, and she didn't, right? They're like, yeah, you didn't. And then she's like, oh, I just said it verbally. And they're like, to the ethics committee. And then that turns out, no, and then the ethics committee was like, no, she didn't. And then she was like, no, just to someone randomly who was on the committee. And then they couldn't find a person who would say that she had said that. And I'm just talking about the shoulder massaging, so that was the issue, is that it's not about, do I believe that Biden is kind of touchy with people? And if you're in a position of power, you shouldn't be? Sure. I believe that. I just think she said a lot of things that could not, that the New York Times, could not verify. So they're like, hey, you said you filed a formal ethics complaint in the Senate and it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
And then she's like, oh, I filed a verbal one. They're like, there's no such thing. And then she's like, and then they went to all the people again. And they're like, did she stand before you and just say it and tell you not to write anything down? They're like, no. And then she's like, oh, I just told someone who was on the committee. And they're like, who? And she's like, I don't remember. And then all those people were like, that never happened. So that's when people say, or when the New York Times was saying, hey, we just can't print this because we could be sued. It's because she told lies, and then they went back to her and said, yeah, we know this is a lie. And she's like, oh, well, here's the story. That they went back and they're like, that's not true either. And so that's what it was. I just want to be clear. But on MAGA's logic, not mine, right? If you believe Tara Reade, and the point is, I actually find Tara Reade, come back to the United States under oath and tell the real story. And let's take Biden to court civilly, just like what E. Jean Carroll did. Let's have your day in court. And E. Jean Carroll was, Trump was found unanimously liable. Okay? So Trump had due process, was found liable. That's the end of it. If Tara Reade wants due process, I 100% support her returning from fleeing to Russia and hanging out with Putin and Bashar al-Assad to have due process, period. It's just under all of the, the research that has been done, I don't think it's going to go so great for her.
Yeah, I agree. Oh gosh, I'm not even going to say that. I know what that's going to be. Sug, are you a Trump supporter?
Yeah.
Does that mean what I think it means?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not going to fall for it. Anyways, Sug, what brought you up?
Your guys' lack of understanding on how really it's like foreign to you guys that people could have conservative leaning values. You guys treat conservatives like aliens.
Oh, it's not.
That's what I noticed.
I fully understand that people. Wait, I understand that.
Yeah. There's a difference between Trump supporters and conservatives. You understand that too, right?
Trump supporters aren't conservatives.
Yeah, but Trump's the best we got on the conservative side right
now.
No, he's not perfect.
What are conservative values?
Male hegemony. Typically having your own culture.
Holy shit. Well, no, those are cultural
Bible?
Values.
No, they're not.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
Really?
So you're not talking... let me just clarify, because I do agree with you that that's on the right side of the spectrum. But I'm saying, so you're not talking about, traditional, Reagan fiscal conservatism.
No, Keynesian is pseudo-conservative.
No, not Keynesian. That's not, I'm not talking about Keynesian. You're not talking about, we need to, because you do understand that Trump is, let's say economically, everything Trump has done is the opposite of fiscal conservatism. So you're saying.
That's not true.
Oh, no, it's true mathematically. I could prove it to you.
No, the tariffs are an attempt to stop printing money, which no one knows how this system works, by the way. But he is at least trying.
I fully
to gain...
understand economics. I'm very good at it.
Do you? How's
Yes.
inflation happen?
Oh, what? I mean, it's comprehensive. Which inflation? During Trump's first term? Inflation was a result of what?
I'm asking you.
Supply chain? Ukraine? No. Yes?
No.
Absolutely. Hold on. If you don't understand how supply chain has a direct effect on inflation, this conversation is pointless.
You're so smugging for what?
Because you have no idea what you're talking about. I think we should stick to I'm a bigot, because that's probably what you know.
Oh,
you don't understand inflation.
You're a good goyim, aren't you?
Well, we wouldn't be in stagflation. What's stagflation? We are as of June, we're in stagflation because of Trump, which is the opposite of supply side economics. Right?
I'll answer the question for you. Inflation happens from money printing. The easiest answer, and you don't even know that. Really?
No, inflation is comprehensive. It is not. You think it's from printing money? That's the most ignorant thing. No economist would sit here and say, "Hey, as a result of what Trump did in his first term, that's from printing money." It's not. It's from, first of all, he spent and spent and spent. And in Trump's first term, right? And I'll explain this all to you, because believe me, I've done a lot of comprehensive research on this. He said, don't worry, targeted tariffs are going to make up for my outrageous spending. In his first term, he ran up the deficit 8.3 trillion, blew out the deficit, the third most in modern history. No one had ever seen anything like that until now, right? Until we borrowed 3.3 trillion, until we're borrowing $3.3 trillion now, right? And he's like, don't worry, the tariffs will make up for it. We're bringing back jobs. And you can look this up. What we know of, right? When you say, hey, I'm going to put targeted tariffs on steel, you don't bring back manufacturing jobs. What happened was we saved 1,000 jobs, and you can fact check me. 1,000 jobs were saved in Trump's first term in Pennsylvania in steel. We lost a net of 75,000 manufacturing jobs in Trump's first term prior to COVID. That was the result, a 75x job loss of manufacturing jobs. And Trump could not predict, well, he knew, right? He was already in a proxy war in Syria with Russia. Bashar al-Assad is Putin's dog. That's why he's hiding right now in Moscow. That's where Bashar al-Assad was. So the war Trump was in Syria was a proxy war with Putin, right? Which was affecting supply chain, which drove inflation up. When we can't move things around the world cheaply, inflation goes up. It affects the cost of goods.
Hey,
supply chain is one of the definitive drivers of inflation.
Okay, so that was like 3 minutes of whatever.
Of facts.
I'll make it short and sweet.
That was 3 minutes of facts, and I could go on.
I'll make it short and sweet. If you have one Lambo, that's valuable. If you have 10, each one is less. Okay? That's inflation.
That's the most idiotic statement I've ever heard.
Maybe I could be wrong on this.
You're probably in debt. You probably have student loans, and you want to talk to me about the money system.
Well, I was a Division I athlete. I went to college on a full scholarship. But thank you. Insecure white male.
Yeah, so that's the other thing about the conservative.
I'm also more coordinated than you. As long as we're listing things that work better, I run 5 to 10 miles a day. I was a Division I athlete, and my brain, the neurons are firing.
Okay.
But keep going. But keep muttering about Lambos.
I got you.
Not 5'6". You can't play Division I. You can't play Division I volleyball and be 5'6.5".
All right, you're 5'7.5", and you have a god complex because you want to be a man secretly. There you go.
Oh, are you joking? I want to be a man, deeply insecure and uninformed, flailing around desperately for approval. No, I don't seek to be a man.
Can I just address something, Sug? You know, we were just talking about inflation. She just schooled you on inflation, and then you just went ahead and just tried to insult her because you didn't know how to answer to what she was saying. It just tells me that you're not intellectually ready for this conversation.
Talk about going in politics.
I didn't hear what you said.
We couldn't hear you. You're cutting out.
All right. Well, come back up if you want. You're crashing out.
I do want to talk about inflation because the reason we're in stagflation, and I want to be clear because I think it's important that people understand what stagflation is because I've heard a lot of people misusing it. As of June, the United States is in stagflation. And this is something, it's a very simple concept that's misunderstood, right? When when the unemployment rate goes up and we need to create more jobs in the US, the way we do that is we lower interest rates. We make money for the rich cheaper to borrow so you can start businesses and hire people. But, right, when inflation is rising out of control, which it is, right, if you understand what's happening, then what we do to drive inflation back down is we hold interest rates steady, right? And so the problem we are having is we're losing jobs as of June, right? In the private sector, we're I think 75,000 jobs less than the June ADP job prediction. And how we would normally handle that, we would lower interest rates, make money cheaper. Wait, I'm not done. I'm not talking to you. Just hold on. We would lower interest rates, make money cheaper to borrow, and increase jobs. But because of blanket tariffs and uncertainty in the market and the cost now to move cargo ships across the ocean that are half empty, we have inflation rising. So we have to hold interest rates steady. So we are in a quagmire now because of tariffs that has no answer. We are currently damned if we do, damned if we don't.
All right, Sug, go ahead. We didn't hear what you were saying before. You're losing service, so go ahead. Okay, bye, I guess.
That was the best choice he made.
Yeah. If you are a Trump supporter, get in the box, guys. Also, I want to address Felice. When do you go live during the week? So people who don't watch you that maybe may know how to catch you.
I do the People's Receipts 11:30 Pacific, 2:30 Eastern. I don't know what I was 2:30 Eastern.
It's a great show.
Low key Texan, yeah, and I could do a whole math class. I used to be a teacher. I could do a whole hour-long class on what Joe Biden did for the U.S. economy. And it was great.
Come on,
but that's not, and I want to say this, because I think people get confused. It's not because Joe Biden was some genius, right? When I used to work in corporate America and advertising, pre and post IPO, large social media company in the tech industry, it was a big deal. And when I think about the brilliant people I worked for, it's not because they were pretending they were an accountant and they were pretending they were the best lawyer and they were pretending they were the best HR person. Brilliant people and managers get the best people and put them in the right place and let them do what they do best, right? CEOs know a little about a lot, and then they put people that know a lot about a little in the right place. And that is what Joe Biden did correctly.
Yes. All right. Segma wants another chance, I guess. All right,
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, tell us more about Lambos.
Okay, so I think my connection's good. The reason I'm coming at you is because it seems like you gave like in fifth grade when you don't really know the answer to the test, so you try to just say everything on the answer sheet. That's what you did. The answer is so straightforward.
That's incorrect.
That's why gold went up 70%.
You're not
fiat
correct.
Money. Okay, so why did gold go up this whole year 70%?
Okay, I want to. Well, no, that's not why. Do you want to know?
Why did gold go
I'll
up?
help you. I'll help you understand why. Because investments. Well, Can I answer you? Gold is a safe bet, and when the economy
do it succinctly. Can you do it succinctly?
Yeah, no,
without saying everything.
I want to tell you something. You're insulting me. It doesn't make me less right. The cause of inflation at any given time, there is not one right answer. It's a comprehensive
Are you
issue.
kidding me?
Many things happen around the world that feed into inflation. Supply
Yes.
chain, the breakdown of supply chain, military conflicts, like you said, printing of money.
That is the primary
It's not.
shaker and mover.
It's not.
Yes,
You're incorrect.
How did Rome collapse?
You're
How did
incorrect.
Germany collapse?
Well, let me.
Russia
Can I
collapse?
answer
You
your
don't know
question?
anything.
I have a degree in history. Do you want me to answer your question?
Yeah, tell me how Germany. Why did Germany
Yeah,
collapse?
I will. If you will listen, I will tell you. So this, and I'll say this. I have some brilliant libertarian friends who understand how to follow a line of logic past this. But I think this is one of the biggest, like, conservative
Duplicity
falsehoods.
speak.
Listen,
Doublespeak.
no, listen to me. Don't interrupt me. You asked me to answer a question and demonstrate knowledge, and now I'm doing that. What you
Okay, but, like,
believe,
get it out
what
already.
people, and by the way, what fake libertarians that are actually MAGA, who have no idea what real libertarianism is, believe, is that inflation is being driven by the printing of money. That's not what it is. It has to do with money concentrated at the top of an economy that is not recirculating. It has to do with transfers of wealth to the top of the economy. Over 60%
Lies.
of, I'm not done. Well,
That's
listen,
Marxism.
it's not, this has nothing, you have no idea what Marxism
No,
is.
have you
Tell me the
read the
definition.
Communist
Yeah,
Manifesto?
I passionately have read Marx, and this has not, we're talking about capitalistic markets, which has zero to do with
You
Marxism.
said the money at the top
Listen,
is
I'm
not
not
going
finished.
anywhere.
Hey,
Where else would it go
let
but
me
the
help
bottom?
you. If we're in a capitalistic market, it has nothing to do with Marxism. Marxism is the absence of a state. It's the absence of currency. It's the moving of goods and services without capital. And the fact you don't know that terrifies me. We are no longer talking about this has zero to do with Marxism. That's just a buzzword you heard. Like, you're like, oh, let's talk about Lambos. That has nothing to do with economics.
What's the
Now,
first rule
let
of
me
Marxism?
just finish what I was saying. Let me
I'll
finish.
tell you the first rule once you are done babbling.
Okay, again, we're not talking about Marxism. We're talking about capital
Right.
markets,
Let's
which
let's
is
put
about
limits on the
private
conversation.
equity.
All right, let's put limits because I don't know this topic.
Okay,
Let's not
let
talk
me help
about it.
you. Let me help you and make it super simple so you never embarrass yourself again.
What's the first tenet of Marxism?
Marxism is
Give me
the
the first rule.
absence of currency. If you're
Give me the
talking,
first rule.
listen to me. If you're talking about Marxism, you can't
Holy shit.
also be speaking about currency. There is
Yes,
no
you can.
currency. No, there is no currency in Marxism. The fact you don't know that is terrifying. There is
Okay,
zero
so the
currency. It is the
first-
trading goods and services absent currency. Quite
Holy shit, you're
literally,
such a-
absent.
You are a well-trained goyim. So here's the answer on the first tenet of Marxism. The government controls the national credit. What is the Federal Reserve? Hence inflation.
That's not correct.
Oh, that's...
Again, I'm going to help you again. Karl Marx was a philosopher who was talking about the fact that, hey, I really appreciated the French Revolution. I liked what people were talking about. Like, let's get rid of kings and queens. But what I noticed are they never went away. They're just going by another name now, capitalists. And there's a consolidation of wealth at the top of the economy. Now,
Yeah, so
when
what's the next step? You want to redistribute it, a.k.a. Marxism.
No, but no. Yeah,
Like, you just cut off
again,
the logic after a certain point. You stop right in the middle.
No, I'm not done. But I don't want to get off what we are talking about. I don't want to get off what we're talking about printing money. I don't like printing money either. I want to agree. I'm not saying printing money is great. But
It's
when
evil.
you stop there, I don't believe in good and evil. Things are useful or not. Like,
Right, you're an atheist Marxist.
You're weird.
Okay, goyim.
You're weird. Can you stop insulting me with
That's
weird Jewish slang? Like, it's super strange. So again, I just want to be clear. The problem that MAGA has is they stop thinking at printing money is evil. First of all, nothing is good or evil. It's useful or not. It's utilitarian or it's not. Like, good and evil is your opinion. It's unique to someone's perspective, right? You stop thinking there.
You believe in
I'm not
subjective
done.
morality.
I'm
Okay.
not done.
Well,
So my
I
point
got to ask a
is,
good question.
why are we printing money? That's the next question that a person has to think about.
Absolutely.
It is
I was just gonna ask
because
that.
of the transfers of wealth to the top of the economy that's consistently happen. Trickle down economics, nothing ever trickled down. We now have 40 plus years of trailing data showing that everything has trickled right to the top. So when we have these moments, which are great for the top of the economy, for capitalists, for people with liquid capital, right? Who can take huge positions in the stock market, who can buy low, right? That's great for rich people. But if we don't print money, then the middle class might notice that something's up because they have nothing to survive because the transfer of wealth is going on. When people are foreclosing, defaulting on houses, auto loans, whatever, going into where everyone's one illness away from medical bankruptcy, and it's the number one cause of bankruptcy. We have to print money so the proletariat, if you will, survives. Because over 60% of wealth in this country is inherited that no one can touch, whilst the big beautiful bill was the largest transfer of wealth to the top of the economy in history in a single bill. That's why we're printing money, so people can live.
Before you answer that, Sug, I just need to. I need to do. Just
Don't want to print money though. I just think we should recirculate money from the top of the economy using regulation.
Maybe if I present this in a different way, it'll hit home.
Well, hold on.
Imagine
Before you get too far, Sug, before you get too far, I just had to do a quick live thing. Brett, thank you for. I didn't do this earlier. Brett, thank you for the bringing people over. I appreciate it. The raid, I appreciate that. Everybody keep on tapping, keep on sharing.
Hi, Brett.
Also, I do have gifting goal subscriptions, chit stuff all over on my subscription sticker. So if you like chit, there's a bunch of chit on there. Sugma, go ahead.
So one thing, she mentioned proletariat. It's hilarious. Karl Marx is the one that helped coin that term. Second thing, to some degree, everything what you said is lies, and I'll tell you why. The reason we print money is because in the about 1700s, when they had the Bank of England, it was off with the king's head if he went over about 44% tax, right? You know, people are cool with 20, maybe even 30. They get angry at about 42. So what did they do? Well, shit, how do we tax the proletariat, the masses, which is only communist talk, by the way. If you're not a communist, you say the people. But how do we tax these people and
you're talking about vernacular? That's incorrect. You can't tell me which words to refute to a group of people. I'm just saying it's not. It doesn't make you a communist. It does not a communist make to know words.
Okay, so the reason they print money is because it is an indirect tax. You dilute the money by creating more, and each individual dollar is worth less. It's very simple. It's not complicated. It's just straightforward from a technical basis.
Not the reason.
That's exactly what. Oh, if that's not the reason,
feel like it's the reason. That's what you should say. You feel like.
Really?
Yes.
So again, don't interrupt me because I didn't interrupt you when you did.
Well, what is the reason when we always print money? It's not a trick question. What is the reason?
It's because
last 5 times we printed money. Why did we do it?
Because of pretext, likely staged events, the Great Depression, the gold standard.
Likely staged events.
Mm-hmm.
You are a conspiracy theorist, aren't you?
No, let's go to the most recent one. What is the default or the credit default swap? What is that? Since she knows everything, let's go to the most recent controversial crash.
Oh.
What's a credit default swap?
Wait, are you talking about the pandemic? If you're not talking about the pandemic, I don't know. That was the last time we printed money, to my knowledge.
Well, we did it in 2008.
Donald Trump printed a bunch of money. So are you upset with him because of that? He signed the checks. He signed all the so it's okay if Donald Trump prints money. If he blows out the deficit, he just borrowed 3.3 trillion. Immediate effect is everyone who has no money, the proletariat, doesn't make me a communist. I can just say the word. Immediate raises to everybody's loans in this country. Immediate. We borrowed 3.3 trillion and you are up here defending it. And prior to that, he signed the last time money was, he signed the checks. He signed the printed money checks. So if you're up here to say, oh, I condemn Donald Trump printing that money, and he engineered the pandemic and then printed money, then cool.
I didn't say that.
Well, that's what you said. You said
I
the last time. You said the last 5 times we printed money was a conspiracy. So what you're saying is the last time we printed money, Donald Trump signed the checks, and it was all a planned conspiracy by him.
I didn't say it was by him. See, that's what you do. You try to capitalize off people's hatred.
Who's in charge of the government? Who's in charge of the government?
The Federal Reserve, frankly.
And, okay, so now it's not the president who prints money, it's the Federal Reserve. That's what you're saying now?
Look, you guys are capitalizing off people's hatred for Trump, and you're making these low-level points.
Oh, I'm just pointing out that your argument has collapsed in on itself.
You didn't even let me finish why the government's really wanted.
I'm kind of done with that. Like, he doesn't know what he's talking about. And I'd rather talk to maybe someone with a little more intelligence who doesn't say that the last 5 times we printed.
Actually, I don't think he wasn't smart, but I just want to say that. But it's just, I agree. I don't want to print money. I don't. I agree. It is wrong. It is diluting. But actually, if you want to look who's devalued the dollar, that's Donald Trump recently. Donald Trump, one of the reasons I was sick to my stomach on Friday is because he was in a press conference. I can find I clipped it because I was so disgusted by it. And he said, hey, I don't care about devaluing the US dollar. Well, you know who does? All the rest of us who don't have anything. We care. And he's like, because I'm still making so much money. The dollar has never been devalued like this in modern history. He was on record. Oh, I'm going to send you this clip, Justin, and you should play it because Midas Touch did a brilliant job, like finding his original quote saying the dollar is the most valuable, like we'll always protect the dollar, and now him being like, no big deal, let's devalue the dollar.
Send it over. I'll put it on. I'll send it to my email and put it out on the computer here. While we're doing that, Big John, you're a Trump supporter? I'm assuming with that background, right? John. All right, cool. Wait all that time just to...
I feel you, John. I feel the same way, actually. I sent you the clip if you want to play it, or I can just play it in my...
Yeah, just play it. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so just understand, like, the first part of the clip is Trump on July 18th, 2025. The second part of the clip is Trump on Friday, July 25th, when he's like, don't worry about me being a 3PTO. Like, let me just name some other 3PTOs people should be more concerned with. Like, I didn't need to spend the night with Epstein. It's like, oh, if you're a creep who doesn't spend the night, then it's fine to be a creep. Thank you for explaining that to me. I wasn't aware that was the standard of creepiness. Again, so first was July 18th, and then now, if you don't understand what's happening to the US dollar, fiat currency, no more.
No, we're not going to let the dollar slide. If we have a smart president, you're never going to let the dollar slide. If you have a dummy, that could happen. Like the last one, if you ever asked him about the dollar sliding, he would have no idea. But we can't let that ever happen again.
Why has the dollar fallen so much? And are you concerned about that?
Well, I'm a person that likes a strong dollar, but a weak dollar makes you a hell of a lot more money. When we have a strong dollar, one thing happens. It sounds good. But you don't do any tourism. You can't sell tractors. You can't sell trucks. You can't sell anything. It is good for inflation. That's about it. It doesn't sound good, but you make a hell of a lot more money with a weaker dollar. Not a weak dollar, but a weaker dollar than you do with a strong dollar.
Yep.
And can I just want to understand, because like I do love economics and I'm very passionate about it. And what I think he's talking about, and this is something that Scott Bessent, because I've read Scott Bessent's economic thesis papers, like, and let's just say, let's take Panama. If they're not exporting enough, what could you do to export more if you want to sell more? You devalue your own currency, which is kind of illegal depending on how you do it. But you devalue your currency. Basically, that's what Trump is saying. He's saying, if I devalue the US dollar, if I make the dollar take a shit, if we no longer have the almighty US dollar, it is cheaper to export things. And the reason he's saying that is because he convinced everyone that trade deficits matter. They don't. We used to be the preeminent U.S. marketplace, and the world was operating off capitalistic trade triads. But because now he's dug himself into a hole he can't get out, Scott Besson is like, who's written papers on this that I've read, oh, don't worry, let's devalue U.S. currency, which means we have less spending power. People in America, the proletariat, the working people who have nothing, because I'm not going to say middle class and poor, it's just us now and billionaires. And now Trump is saying, when I fuck up and make the US dollar worth less, more people will buy our exports.
Thank you. Corey, are you a Trump supporter?
Well, I voted for him.
Do you still support him?
I think he's a bigger disaster than any of us expected.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I think he's a bigger disaster than any of us expected. I think he's a bigger disaster than even any of the anti-Trump people could have predicted.
So you regret your vote then?
I don't. I can only look at my feelings at the time of the election, and so in that sense, I do not, because I think the Trump vote for many of us was a kind of just not wanting to vote for Kamala Harris. You know, Trump was in office for 4 years. Those were actually pretty good 4 years economically, in my neck of the woods, in my industries. Kamala scared a lot of us off. I feel like Trump is in office because the Democrats did a very poor job at picking a candidate to run against him. It was almost like people weren't voting for Trump, they were voting against Kamala, you know? And I know what people say, and then the response is always, well, she was qualified and she was great, and what are you talking about? Well, she wasn't, because there's so many people that were on the fence like me that just didn't find her to be intelligible when she spoke. Not that Trump is.
Yeah. Have to be kidding. You voted for a man who says men shouldn't wear makeup and paints himself orange every single day with a full face of makeup. He lies every time he speaks. And I just want to say this because I'm not sure, and I think we could all have a different, like, whatever you want, composition of what's wrong with him in our minds. I think what it is, and for everyone, it's a pie chart, and the percentages might be different. But either Trump is senile and has no idea what's going on, and I don't want to say senile, because he's old, because I can find clips of Trump not making sense for a long time. Or he's a pathological liar. And I think whatever percentage combination you want to believe of that to add up to 100, that's the reality. And Corey, I just want to say, I agree with you. I think what you said about Kamala Harris, I've heard that. I mean, every time I debate online, that's what everyone says. Like, I just couldn't get there with her. Now, and then you're also right about the response. And this is true. If I just handed you all the resumes of past U.S. presidents and I mixed in hers and I said, who's the most qualified? Pound for pound, bullet point for bullet point, she is probably the most qualified person to be president in U.S. history, period. So the question is not if or if not she is qualified, because she is. And Trump is effing not. His brain does not work. It is, why couldn't we all get there? Because it's not just you, Corey. It's women, white women in America. There were a lot of people who couldn't get there, you know? And that's like what we have to kind of figure out.
The proof of my exact sentiment lies in the results of the election. And so I tell my close Democrat friends that whether you want to accept that or not, you can't change what you don't accept. She did not make a good, you know, I struggle to find an interview where she sounded intelligent, or that she was just so, I don't know, just maybe she was nervous when she spoke. Maybe she had this inner confidence that we just couldn't see. The situation with Biden, though, where his his best version of him we've ever seen, as he's literally just, sadly losing his mind. That was a little hard to swallow for a lot of Americans as well.
You joking? You've got
Corey,
I can't.
yeah.
I can't.
Corey,
I'm
I need
feeling
to-
I'm physically uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Well, there's that too. I mean, just toughen up. We're just talking. It's a conversation. Don't
But
feel
Corey,
uncomfortable.
it makes no sense that you're
Telling me to toughen up as a woman on the internet who's being stalked and harassed 24 hours. I need to toughen. Don't worry, Corey.
Oh, I'm sure you're a victim.
I was a Division I athlete who ran every day till I threw up. I'm tough, Corey. Don't worry,
Okay,
I got
you
this.
said you were-
But the idea,
you said you were physically
now, Corey.
uncomfortable, so I was
Oh my
concerned for
God,
you.
this is a great This is a great learning moment.
Great,
I also
it
used to
is.
be also used to be a second grade teacher. The fact that I'm a woman and you think I need to toughen up, and I promise you, Corey, whatever you want to compete at, you will lose to me. I promise you. You want to run 10 miles, I will beat you.
I'm sure
You
you
want
will.
to jump up and down till someone throws up and starts crying, I will beat you.
Well,
You want
said
to
you were
find
physically-
out who has a higher IQ, I will beat you. You are not better than me in anything. But the problem is, Corey, by the sheer nature of me being a woman, you have an idea that I need to toughen up.
No,
I spent
would say
days,
the
I
same thing
spent
to
3 days in a
man.
closet with no food or water when I was a kid. You don't need to tell me to toughen up. Believe
I would say
me.
the same thing to a man who said, I'm physically uncomfortable from a TikTok conversation.
Physically uncomfortable with your idiocy. That's what I'm physically uncomfortable about. You just didn't let me finish. I was trying to be nice, Corey. Let me land the plane.
But Corey, here's the thing: you coming up here saying that you're upset with the way that she talked when we literally had Donald Trump say there were airports at the Revolutionary War. Literally talk about Hannibal Lecter endorsing him as president, and you're up here trying to make sense of. Well, I just didn't understand what Harris was saying. That's just a blatant lie, and you know it.
Well, if Trump's an idiot, no one's gonna dispute that. Nobody is honest will dispute that. And additionally, our options for the Democratic nominee for president were not very compelling to half of the country. And so I'm saying the left needs to understand this and dig deep and
Do you know who the half of the country? Do you understand the makeup of the half of the country? I agree with you, Corey. That you said that is true. But do you understand who your half of the country is? Because if I was you, I wouldn't be defending my half. And it's not a half. You are about, 28, 29% if you really look up who you are referring to. You're uneducated. And I mean, some passed high school, some didn't, white males. You have no idea what you're talking about.
See, that's that's
the makeup of MAGA. Hey, the Republican Party prior to Trump had a completely different makeup. They were college educated. They were extremely wealthy. We are talking about probably the 8th or 9th percentile of wealth in this country. They were a different group of people. Who the quote unquote, I don't know if you guys call yourself Republicans, but the group of people, the diehard cognitive dissonance people that voted for Trump are the opposite of who voted for Reagan. You guys kicked all the smart people out because you didn't like what they were saying.
Yeah, that's your platform. I don't.
No, that's mathematically. It's mathematically true. Do you want examples?
No, I understand. I just don't think you're going to win hearts and minds by calling your opposition dumb. And in fact, that was.
I didn't say they were dumb. I said that the people. Well, I mean, you call them rhinos, right? The college educated, the people beholden to the ethics of the bar, the people that were like. Let me just here's a really good example. Former representative now, Ken Buck. And you're like, who the f is that? He used to be the district that Lauren Andrew Jackson at Beetlejuice Broadway concerts, Boebert used to now holds, right? Yeah. Ken Buck was a former prosecutor, I think a district attorney, beholden to the ethics of the bar. He was gross, but he was smart, right? Like he was the chair, or if not the chair, maybe second of I call them the free dumb caucus, but he was not dumb, right? You guys forced him out because he was just like Hey, I'm a lawyer. I've looked at all the evidence, and you guys are trying to impeach Joe Biden with not one shred of evidence. And I'm not going to sit here and have my intelligence insulted and waste my time. And you guys were like, get the out. So that's my example. People who are like, hey, listen, this is what I do. I looked at all the evidence, and I'm telling you, nothing you guys are doing makes any sense.
Yeah, I could give you some really
Mrs. Rodriguez, I support ICE and Trump. Well, you need to get into the request so you can. That's so great.
I didn't say I didn't say that.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. It was someone said that in all caps, so it just it's rude to write in all caps. Someone in the comments said that, and I just
don't let it bother you. This is just
I shouldn't. You're right. Sorry. It just shocked me.
So I could get anybody who wants Trump out of office or the likes of him out of office forever. I could give you some really, really solid advice that I know to be true. And that would be the Democratic Party right now, that the primary resonating feature that we hear from the Democratic Party is anti-Trump. For all these reasons you've mentioned, Trump voters are stupid, anti-Trump. I don't know.
I didn't say that.
I
didn't say those words.
Just hear me out. I don't know if any Democratic, I don't know, I watch the news a lot. I don't know if I've heard any Democratic leadership tell me if we should do a continuation of Obamacare, if we should do a Medicaid for all. All I hear is anti-Trump. You guys are going to have to shift your focus onto some substance of what the Democratic Party can provide the people. And it has to go beyond Donald Trump is horrible.
I could not more passionately agree with that, Corey. Listen to me.
Telling you,
Corey, I am on that train. I'm the conductor of that train. Corey, nailed it. Thank you. Nailed it.
Today, we all decent humans in this country, and I think the country, I believe that it's not half good people. I believe that we're like 94, 95% great, amazing people with just a few negative or bad outliers. And so there's good people, not quoting Trump, on both parties. There's great people. We all want what is the best for the most people in this country. We only disagree on how to achieve it. And
I would disagree. I think there is a lot more worse people than we know here. I don't think it's 94%. We have people who are cheering on alligator Alcatraz and putting people in concentration camps in this country who are cheering it on.
They are a small minority. I could go anywhere. I could go anywhere in this country. Any three of us could be dropped off in any town, in any country, and if we needed help on the side of the road, if we needed help with some type of medical intervention, if we needed help with anything, there's a very, very, very good chance that we'd find wonderful people that would help us. This country is full of great people. There's a few outliers that make the most noise, and that gets and we give them the most coverage, and that gives us this perception that this is such a negative country. It's not. We all want.
Corey, which side has all that news coverage, though? Which side is causing all that havoc? Which side is calling out people, telling people, "Well, go back to your own country," or telling people that you're not a woman, or I can't think of other insults that your side comes out dehumanizing other Americans, while we're over here trying to just live our lives. People of the LGBTQI just trying to live their lives. People in this country legally trying to live their lives, and your party is dismantling that every day.
It could be a tenth of a fraction of a percent, and they would make enough noise and gain enough notoriety that in your mind you would have this perception that it's a large percentage of the country. This country is.
These people every day.
Well, you do because you probably do. Because you have an open conduit to them, and they probably seek you out because of your message, and they probably find you, and they're argumentative and all this. But I'm saying this country is 98% great people, and we only disagree on how to achieve. Do you guys follow Margaret Thatcher?
Well, I mean, I think like at least 6% are actually like have narcissistic personality disorder, like to malignant narcissism. So no, that's factually incorrect. I could go. I mean, I'm saying lack cognitive, affect, not cognitive.
I'm saying we're mostly.
No, I'm just saying mathematically, what you just said is not true. That's not right.
Well,
we could look at the percentage of crime in this country and disprove that. That's not correct.
Well, we're a pretty good country that everybody in the world wants to live in. And if we, and if and
No,
the-
used to. Hold on. Used to. Do you understand?
You're saying immigration is down?
Well, no, I'm saying
you're saying the people that are trying to get in our country.
Absolutely. Yes. Do you understand mathematically what's happening? Well, yes, I do say that. I say anybody trying to enter this country is down. Yes, mathematically. That is a fact, but that's what you guys all voted for. So you guys should be happy about that. And that's the irony. And I want to say this, Corey. I actually agree with everything what you're saying. And I think
It's really
I just want to say that. And I know people in the comments are going to be like, shut the fuck up, please. But let me just explain why. What Corey is saying, this is how people think. And the people that are saying like, let's come together, like everything is amazing. Like most people in this country mean well. And I know that when I say like I run 5 to 10 miles a day, I mean it. And like I live in like downtown, like Phoenix, like grew up here. And my neighbors, like I have people that have like, the F Joe Biden, the hoe can go, meaning Kamala Harris, stickers. And like, they are so kind to me. Do you know when you said like, if someone needed help on the street, like
if you
they would help. I actually do agree with that, Corey. I think that my lived experience with people that live around me is much different than what people are saying online and voting for. But I just want to say, we are not debating, or I never am at least, like who has hate in their heart or who's like, in some sort of weird militia, like, or whatever. I don't think the average Americans are. I don't think people even have time to think. When you are trying to survive in late stage capitalism, most people are going to work. They're effing exhausted. They're trying to take care of their kids. Like, just like keep on keeping on. Like, I totally agree with that. When I worked in the tech industry and advertising and I was sleeping under my desk, like I thought I knew what was going on with politics and what legislation was being brought forward, but I now realize I didn't understand it. And like my argument is not the right or a bunch of race. I don't know who has hate in their hearts. I know this, that the legislation that is moved through Congress by the right, mathematically, I don't know who technically hates people or not. I know that through statistical analysis, impact studies, we know that it discriminates against brown and black people. It discriminates against the LGBTQIA. It discriminates against women. And I'm saying my argument is mathematical, not like I think Corey has hate in his heart. Because I agree with you. I don't think when you cross someone on the sidewalk, they're like, get out of here, weirdo.
Did you guys happen to watch the last version of the last South Park that was so notorious that everybody's talking about? It's the most viral.
I watched the whole thing. I just seen clips and
Yes.
It was the most. Did you watched it, please?
Yes.
Okay. It was the most perfect. I wish I could have been a fly on the wall to watch Trump see himself and his little. It was hilarious. It was a great evisceration of Trump, but it also like as South Park so effectively does over and over and over through decades. It pointed out just the idiocracy on both sides. And the kind of the general theme was woke is dead. Like we were tired of woke. It's like everything's okay. Nobody cares. It doesn't mean they don't like the people. It doesn't mean that we shouldn't all have equal rights. It's like we're just done talking about it. And like let's just let everybody be happy. Woke is dead. And it was a great episode. I would encourage the entire country to watch it. Because it pokes fun at the
What is
idiocracy
woke
on both sides.
to you? What does that mean? I'm confused.
Come on.
No, but I mean, what do you mean when you say that? Because like this is my thing, Corey. I actually agree with most things you said, and like your point is, like your original claim was 98% of people in this country are just good people trying to live their lives and go to work. So I think that math is a little off, but I think nobody, because I love psychology, is all good or all bad, unless people who, through no fault of their own, because Trump is one of these people that lack actual effective empathy. That's a different cross-section of people. But nobody who has effective empathy is all good or all bad, right? There's always hope to change, to learn, to progress. So I actually, I get the point you're making, but you're saying woke. So how I understand America and what America is built on is I don't care who anyone wants to have sex with. I don't care how anyone identifies. We all have basic human rights that should, and everyone should get them. It does not matter how you want to live your life. So when you made that argument, I agreed. But when you start doing the woke is dead, I don't understand what that means. Either everyone in America has unalienable human rights, or they don't. And it sounds like when you make that woke argument, you're saying, except for certain people I don't like.
I'm not making a woke argument. I'm saying, okay, when I got on this chat today, thankfully, no one said, "Hey, what's your pronouns?" Because I don't give a. I mean, it doesn't mean I dislike someone who is transsexual or is gender neutral or whatever. It just means that it's not relevant to this conversation. It's like, why do I have to tell you my programs? What's so important? That's less. It's less woke that you didn't ask me my pronouns.
Corey,
that we could just talk as humans.
You have pronouns, right?
Of course,
you
I
have
do.
pronouns.
Yeah, well, I do.
Yeah, so just being respectful. I wouldn't call you her. I wouldn't call you she. I would call you he. Right? I would be respectful in that way, right? Because that's just the most respectful thing to do.
And if you misgendered me, I would not have any level of discontent or physical discomfort.
A lot of them,
I would just say, "Well, I'm just misgendered. I look like a dude," you know.
A lot of people who have different kind of pronouns won't get upset right away if it was innocent. They'll just correct you and say, "No, I'm actually they, them, or she, her." You know, they will actually correct it. They don't like the way you frame it and characterize it. It doesn't happen that way. Now, if you continue to do that, and if you continue to disrespect their pronouns and call them by something they're not, then yes, maybe they get upset because you're doing it intentionally and you are just being rude at that point.
I'm saying that the Democrats play that card as that's not going to really radically adjust or affect.
That's nothing to do, like, just being respectful of humans. Like, is that?
Yeah, I'm not talking about being disrespectful. I respect people's pronouns. I'm saying I'm okay that you guys didn't say, "Hey, what's your pronouns?" Because it doesn't really matter. I can have an opinion on politics regardless if I'm a he, they, them, or they, whatever. I'm Corey.
Well, let me just say, there's many ways I could disrespect you if I wanted to. Like, I'm brilliant, and I have and no, I'm saying this factually, like, my vocabulary is extensive. I could insult you. You probably wouldn't know. But the point, it's just about respect, right? Like, that's it. It's just like, if it's ever in question, I'm never trying. No, I'm not, Corey. I'm not. That's not my point. I'm saying, Corey, I'm saying I would not disrespect you because I don't want to disrespect anyone.
Well, and nor do I. Nor does anybody.
And I agree, Corey. I get that, and I think that. I think, like, having this conversation, I'm gonna follow you. I think you're like a decent human being who's like, hey, can we all just like live? And like,
that's it.
Well, I just want to give an example because we're talking about two different things. Like, pronouns are about gender, like, male, female, and then like there is what type of who you prefer to have sex with. Two different things, right? Yeah. Like, I'm pansexual. I've had sex with women, men, or like whatever spectrum. If someone, however people identify, I just like, it's called sapiosexual. Like, when people make me think, I just love people's brains. The last thing I think, like right now, Corey, you're making me think. We're having a good conversation. It's stimulating my brain, and that interests me. And the last thing I'm thinking is like, what kind of genitals does Corey have? You know what I mean? It seems right. Like I never am thinking that, but I also, just as a good person, want to be like, hey, however you want me to refer to you, or however you want to identify, I want to respect you, Corey, as a human being.
I'm saying, as a culture, we all agree with you.
And I think you do too.
And we moved past it.
Well, we did no. Hold on. I just need to be clear. I need to be clear. Trump has systematically taken rights and put the LGBTQIA in danger. Like, we didn't accomplish anything. Any sort of equality or humanity that was put in place, Trump has now undone. So that is, I'm just saying this not to say you, Corey, a bad person, because I get it fundamentally. One of my worst fears as someone who hosts lives online is like, oh shit, like, what if I misgender and I've done it, like, I think, and it's like, yeah, Justin, you just, like, it haunts you. It's like, I'm going to say the wrong thing or say something I didn't mean to say.
Really? It haunts you? I mean,
yes.
I'm of the belief that in all things between people, intent matters.
Well,
intent matters. If your intent was not to hurt, you should be haunted.
I agree. Corey, I agree. Corey, I want to
let you know, I have a fair bit of perspective on this.
I agree with that.
I employ a transsexual person. And
wait, do you mean a trans person?
I'm sorry, a trans person.
Transgender. That's those are not the same thing.
I understand. I know, but my vocabulary isn't as good as yours, so I'm kind of slow. But I employ a trans person. They, them are amazing. They're amazingly productive. I do have a unique perspective. I also knew this person both pre and post transition, and so this individual is assigned female at birth. I do have a unique perspective on this, and I have a unique amount of compassion.
With the AFAB language. I see. Okay.
I have a perspective on this, and I think that the pendulum has swung so far to the left, and that's what I'm talking about wokeism. That to the left, to the Democratic Party's own detriment, and that is precisely why a person as ridiculous as Donald Trump is in office. And I think when the left understands this, they will start to win elections. But
that's not true.
Entire campaign
mathematically, that's not true.
Well, you don't have to believe it.
No, you feel that way. It's not mathematically true. Like,
but I'm saying until the left accepts that, we will continue to have another person like Trump in office, and I don't want a guy like Trump in office.
Can I just help you with why Trump's in office? Because I have a history degree, and like also my brain operates in a very unique way where I just see.
You're brilliant.
Not in the way you're thinking. You think I think I'm better than other people. Actually, the way my brain works, a lot of people are constantly annoyed by me. It's not a good thing. I just see patterns. It's like I see the world in a way other people don't, and I want you to know that the reason Trump is in office is exactly what you're suggesting the Democratic Party do. Move back to the center, right? And I think you're right about, when we need to hammer this home, Corey, and hopefully since you're over there, you can start making this argument and we can meet back in the middle. We need to tackle this on both sides. I don't care where anyone pees. I don't care who anyone's having sex with. Tell me what you want me to call you. If I make a mistake, I'm sorry, and I will call you that. I do not effing care. This is not a left-right issue. My brain works mathematically. This is a up-down issue. That big, beautiful bill, it doesn't matter if you're trans, or it doesn't matter if you're communist. It doesn't matter if you're the farthest right, like who thinks he's like, I'm a Christian nationalist and I'm awesome. We were all just robbed by billionaires, right? The largest transfer of wealth in a single bill just happened. And all of us, doesn't matter what your sexuality is, doesn't matter your gender, doesn't matter how big of a bigot you are on the right, and thinking, yeah, Trump's a bigot too, and I'm winning. Nope, we all just got robbed together, and we're in a life raft, and we're sinking underwater, and just our noses are barely out, and people are still arguing about what bathroom people are in. It doesn't matter.
The only people
we have to use our power as the proletariat. There are many of us, and like 80 billionaires, and we have to get back control of this country, period. That is mathematically what has happened. While we are like, who's in what bathroom and why do I have to worry about pronouns? We are all being robbed over and over. And so I agree with you on that, Corey. None of this, the left-right shit matters. There are huge transfers of wealth to the top of the economy happening, and we need to do something about that.
I will tell you that if you rounded up all of the conservatives in the country, all of the people that voted for Trump in the country, and you put them all in a room and you surveyed all of them, 99% of the people don't give a shit who uses what bathroom. 99% of people are okay with people with trans, with gay rights. I understand that Trump's not. But most of the conservative half of this country does not agree with Trump. It was simply an anti-Biden
Well, no, it's a distraction. Yeah, I agree. Like, it's a distraction while we're all being robbed. And what Trump has done, and Corey, I can hear you're not one of them, right? Like, he has weaponized the evangelical, the religious right, who, they're very, they're not seeming very Christian. I think they need to reread the New Testament and see what Jesus was all about, because Jesus was telling people to love people, and we've gotten off the beaten track. But Trump, Trump is not brilliant, but the people, right? The people working for him, the think tanks, they're weaponizing the religious right. And as long as it's left fighting right, pay no attention to the billionaires robbing us all, creating monopolies, consolidating power, deregulating markets, the constant trickle up economics since Reagan. That's the issue.
The poorest, what was it? The poorest 2% of the United States, the people who have it the worst of the worst, the most unfortunate 2% of the United States are in the top 5% of the entire globe, or maybe the top 1%. It was just insane, the stats. What a tremendous. I'm saying this country, for all of its problems, when you look at the big picture and put it in perspective, is not that bad of a place to live. We have some major problems politically. Trump is a major problem. He's a step backwards. He's a step backwards in time socially, from a human rights perspective, from all of the things that we've talked about today. And I would agree with that wholeheartedly. But I think for the people in charge of the marketing of the left, the people who, if you actually want to sway hearts and sway votes, we're going to have to deliver a message that, I say you, not me. You're going to have to deliver a message of that's got to go beyond Trump's bad. It has to. There has to be better talking.
They're not talking about that, Corey.
I know, but I just want to.
Do you understand that? I'm saying mathematically, the big beautiful bill has not just damned us, people right here, our children, our children's children, to poverty. It is the largest transfer of wealth. We are borrowing $3.3 trillion with immediate effect to anyone carrying a loan in this country.
What about
people are dumping U.S. bonds, like every single thing, so that billionaires and corporations don't pay taxes. Not only are we paying, we're in now a regressive tax system. Anytime we buy something, in addition to state tax, in addition to federal tax, we will pay another tax, so the rich don't have to pay a tax. And that does not even cover a fraction of the money we are borrowing, so the rich can mathematically get richer, Corey. So you can keep saying people hate Trump. If you hate Trump, that's because you can do math and you understand when you've been robbed, when you've been had. I can do math. I don't give a shit who's in any bathroom. I don't give a shit if you're a Christian nationalist. We have all been robbed, period.
I just want to get back to one point here. Felice, you said you're a history major, right? Did everybody who voted for Schmittler agree with all his policies, or were they like, well, we'll vote this man because everything else is going bad? We need to vote for somebody who's going to change, right? That's pretty much what happened.
Oh, yeah, I was going to make that point. I forgot. Sorry, it's the ADHD that people hate me for. Yeah, that's the danger of your message, Corey. You are saying, hey, Trump, and we know, it sounds like you know that Trump's a pathological liar who, if you understand the math, has done irreparable damage to the rest of us. And that's exactly how Mustache Man came to power, right? It was people saying, it was apathy in the center, right? People who are just saying, people are starving, people have nothing. And that's what I say, I have more respect for, well, not the racism part, but the right wing fringe that's that anger coming from the right wing, the far right, that's someone is stealing from me. Now, they think it's brown people, which is wrong. That's not who it is. But they're someone's taking something from me. I know it. I can feel it. Something is wrong. Yeah, we are all being robbed by the same people. This is an up-down issue. And that is exactly how Mustache Man rose to power. Trump is not, if you believe America first was Trump's idea, it was Germany first. That was, this is just the playbook of Mustache Man. Trump's like the Madison Square Rally. Mustache Man had one. Like that's it. It was, hey, if you don't remember, this is exactly what Xi Jinping did, right? The Chinese Communist Party. There is nothing communist about Xi Jinping. If you're a communist, there are no borders, there's no currency. It is the trading of goods and services absent all that, right? It is a communal society. There is no class. It's classless. It's currencyless. That is what communism is, but that's what capitalism did. They perverted the idea of socialism, of communism, right? So we are in a, history does not repeat, but it rhymes. Trump just said, oh, I like this playbook. You might know this or not. You know, the only American that Mustache Man gave a shout out to in Mein Kampf was Henry Ford. He loved Henry Ford. You know where Mustache Man got the idea for concentration camps? Here. He came here and he's like, hey, can I tour your concentration camps and what you guys did to indigenous people and during the Mexican repatriation? Really like how you exterminated a population quietly. Like, can you guys show me how you did that? That's what Mustache Man was doing. And Trump is just saying, like, oh, look at all these great ideas I had. Not one of those is new. And the minute and Corey, I agree with you, the idea, like, hey, we're all good people, blah, blah, blah. That's true. But the danger of the center, right? When you're saying, what I hear you saying, and just let me bring it home and then you correct me if I'm wrong, is like, the left needs to move back center. No one ever needs to be anywhere near the center again. Healthcare. We are the only developed country in the world without universal healthcare. Healthcare is a human right. No one should have to sell their life force to a corporation for the right to go to the doctor, for their kids to go to the doctor. We have every bit of money of tax dollars so that we can all go to the doctor and we can all thrive. It's also, listen, if you love capitalism, it makes perfect sense to keep your capitalistic workforce healthy. It's delusional not to, but they are keeping us as slaves, right? We don't ever need to move back to the center. Maybe what you're saying is, I just don't want to hear about like cultural issues, which is fine. I think what we need to focus on is all of us poor people are being robbed. Period. Okay. That's it. Doesn't matter who you have sex with. Doesn't matter what bathroom you want to use. We're all being robbed. We need to do something about it. Period. Okay.
So a couple things. The conflation or this deliberate confusion, or maybe people genuinely believe it. This comparison of a detainment facility to a concentration camp. That's another one that makes it hard for a lot of the country to take the left seriously. Let me finish. That's a tricky one. I think this is comparison to extermination of like 6 million Jews to what's happening with our immigration program. I mean, do you realize that Biden deported thousands more people per month than Trump has on his best month ever?
Do you want me to answer that question?
48-month average.
Do you want me to answer the question?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, well, so actually Trump currently, in the height of Biden's deportations, I believe Biden is now averaging more than, excuse me, I said that wrong. Trump is now averaging more than Biden, wait, I'm not finishing. I'm not done. Who Trump is not near is Obama. But let me help you. What you are fundamentally missing is what deportation is, right? There is following the Constitution and immigration law and humanely deporting people, and there is violating the Constitution. And I just need to tell you this, and I mean this factually as someone who's done the research. Trump has 100% set up concentration camps. What you are confused about are what is actually known as the final solution, right? That was when things were getting really bad in World War II, and then the unaliving started happening. Concentration camps are not necessarily extermination camps. That's what it came to in Germany. And that has to do, right, that the exterminations were not German Jews, right? These were, if you understand what was happening in Germany and what Hitler's idea was, he was clearing space for the Lebensborn, right? Like the master race. He was exterminating people who were occupying space that he felt the master race should then occupy. But that's not how it started, right? Concentration camps have nothing to do with extermination. And I'm terrified for you that you don't know that. We absolutely have concentration camps in America. We invented them.
I'll tell you, and I'll try to post some TikToks. I took in a child from an individual who was unfortunately deported, and for 3.5 years with temporary guardianship, and I still have a relationship to him. He's reunited with his mother. They live in one of our houses that we own. And anyway, my point, this is something that's very near, and the immigration issue in this country is something that's very near and dear to my heart. And I look at it through the lens of what's real and what's conflated and what's confused, and it's something I put a lot of thought into. But the other thing I want to I'm not trying to pivot, but the other thing I wanted to mention, because you mentioned about the transfer of wealth to the oligarchy and to the rich of this country through the big beautiful bill, and while I do believe there is a disparity of wealth in this country. Obviously, it's undeniable. I just also want to make it known, and I hope everybody understands that the top 5% in this country pays something like 40% of the overall taxes, and to the extent that the billionaire that you may know or not know, or the guy who's worth $100 million, or I think it's over 10 million, right, annually or something, they pay like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times as much taxes as I would presume that you or I may pay. I make a lot of.
You have to know that that's not true. Right?
Well, how do you know? What do you mean?
Well, I can help you understand progressive tax systems. Do you want me to? We're talking about effective tax rates, right? Do you understand the difference between an effective tax rate and what you're talking about? First of all, most billionaires, their effective tax rate is like 2%. So that's not true. And what you're saying is, if you make no, but also the percentage of their total income, like you don't understand. We have a consolidation of what you just said was factually incorrect.
Okay,
Corey, the math of what you just said is not real. That is a Fox News myth. That's what you just said. You said Yes, that's what you said. Could you just
do me a favor, though? We don't have to just.
It's not real what you said, but I know you think you did something. But also, you pivoted off concentration camps. These are the same bunk beds that were. I mean, I would have pivoted too because you're 100% wrong. These are concentration camps. We are violated everyone's due process and constitutional rights. We are beating the shit out of and tormenting American citizens who just happen to be too brown. And then you pivoted to, let me tell you some myths about the American tax system.
Could you look up?
Hey, why don't you stay on the line of logic that you started and face the truth?
I would like someone to look up.
I bet you are pasty white, because if you weren't, you wouldn't have just pivoted like that. That's the most disrespectful shit I've ever witnessed.
Yeah, Corey, if I put some fences here, what would this look like? If I just put some cages here?
It would look like the facility that Obama constructed that we all called Kids in Cages.
No. So, again, you are factually wrong on that. I'll show you what it looks like. Hang on. Let's see if I got it here.
You're factually wrong.
Oh, does it look like that?
Yeah, absolutely. Have you seen the ones Obama built? Nobody cares.
Yeah, Obama, were those...
Wrong.
Were those temporary cages? Were they there when Obama was there? Were they there longer than... Was it 24 hours, Felice?
24 hours?
Was it 24 or 72?
I don't even know. Yeah, like
4 years.
Listen, that's neither here nor there. We're talking about the violation of people's constitutional rights. And I want to be clear. I think I've done a lot of research on the immigration issue. I think throughout time, immigrants' constitutional rights have been violated, but never in the form they are now. The last closest was the guy that Trump always shouts out, which I'm going to tie this back to your rich people are paying more taxes. Wait, I'm not done, Corey. I'm going to help you learn something. You know how Trump sits all the time and says he loves Eisenhower? You know why he says that? Because Eisenhower, and I'm not going to say it because it's a slur, did something called Operation. The opposite of the words would be, of the slur would be dry front. If you think of what the opposite of dry front is, that's why Trump's always like, love Eisenhower. He rounded up all the brown people and got them out of here. You know what else Eisenhower did? That was the golden age of capitalism, a progressive tax rate. It doesn't mean it has to do with how much money you make. You're not being taxed at 90%, a percentage. It depends on what tax brackets. And then let's say the last, however much of your income is taxed at 90%. We had progressive tax rates. When we move to a regressive tax system, which we are in now, right? And I could get into tax brackets and how much. The poor pay more, Corey. You are wrong. You are factually wrong about every single thing you've said. For every $1 the poor makes, I think on average, they're paying, let's say they pay $100 in taxes. And for every $1 the rich make, they pay much less. And if you don't know that, if you don't understand the difference between progressive tax systems and regressive, then you don't understand that you're being robbed.
Okay, please. I will not disagree with you, and I will not try to upset you. But
I wouldn't, because you'd be wrong mathematically.
I would just ask you to Google the percentage that the top, just say 10% pay in this country. And I'll tell you another thing. I run around.
It's not a percentage. You're saying this is a Fox News myth that you don't understand the difference.
You don't know what I'm trying to say.
You're saying that they pay more than poor people pay. I'm talking about the percentage of total income and available capital.
I am telling you.
You're wrong, Corey. Then cite a source.
Allow me maybe 60 seconds, like 30 seconds. And then we'll let your brilliant mind correct me, okay? I run around with a lot of people who make more than $1 million a year, and they all average about 400.
Why don't you? We're here to give rich people Andrew Jacksons.
Police, can you just let me? How about it? Just give me a minute, okay? Or 30 seconds? Is that too much? I'll start over. I run around with a lot of people, a lot of guys, girls who make a lot of money, and the average amount that everyone pays is about $400,000 to $450,000 per year, as it should be. And my point is, somehow that's a lesser percentage to pay almost half of your income, your realized income in taxes. Somehow the left is convinced, voters are convinced that rich people pay less taxes as a percentage. And it's simply not true.
Corey, what you just said is idiotic. Corey, do you think you just made a point that's mathematically correct? That's not correct. In a progressive tax system, like, can you look up Eisenhower's tax system?
Can you just
you don't pay your whole income in one tax bracket, Corey. Just the fact you don't understand that scares me. Progressive tax systems mean when you make more, like when I made the height of my income, now I make nothing and I'm happier than ever. But when I made the most, I was making like 300 grand a year. I worked in advertising in the tech industry, and I was not taxed. Not all of my income is taxed in the same bracket. You have to understand that, Corey, right?
I do understand that.
And then there's ways that you can get out of paying taxes, whatever.
Well,
there's different effective tax rates. But Corey, I think the bottom line, and Corey, so what you said before is idiotic, and no, that's not true. And the fact you're like, I run around with rich people and have no idea that what you just said is mathematically incorrect scares me. And this is the point. As long as capital gains are taxed at a lower rate than income and inflation has outpaced income, like if we I was reading a mathematical analysis of the production, and we would be at 26 something at the federal minimum wage if we raise the minimum wage like to the rate it should be at. You are delusional, Corey. You are delusional. You have no idea what you're talking about, and you really ran afoul of the mathematical truth there. But hey, keep giving those rich people you hang out with Andrew Jacksons, and maybe it will trickle down to you. You know, maybe they'll take you on a vacation.
I work very hard, but I make a fair bit myself, and I understand taxes and I understand what I pay. I will tell you.
Understand you're wrong. So it can't be both. If you understand a progressive tax system, then you understand the first claim you made is incorrect.
Are either one of you guys in front of a computer where you can look something up? Because I'm not.
I have 5 screens in front of me and 2 computers.
Could anybody look up how much of the federal income tax is derived from the top 10%? Could somebody give me
That's
that?
a total amount, right? Not the percentage of income.
What percentage
Jesus
of-
Christ.
That's
That
the
is
difference.
okay, hold on.
This idea
We
that
don't
the
have
rich
time
pay
for
no
this, but we're
taxes.
going to do it. We're going to do it for
This
Corey.
idea
Hold
that the
on.
rich pay no
I have a
taxes
whole
is misleading.
thing. I have a whole video that debunks
this.
and explains for idiots that none of what you're saying is true. I literally had Corey, I'm serious. If you want to tell me your email
What
address, I'll send
percentage-
it to you.
what
'Cause
percentage
you should not
of
go
the-
along thinking that this is true. This is Fox News delusion.
I don't watch Fox News. Come on, I'm just a normal person. You don't have
That's
any. that would be-
then whoever
just
the
stop
rich
being-
people who watch Fox News that told you this, that doesn't make sense.
Thanks for lowering your tone. When you yell, it's hard to hear you as well. Just with the
Oh, this is
microphone.
not yelling, Corey.
I
This is
understand. Thank you.
condescension.
Okay. Just someone look
Okay,
up
let's
what percentage of
listen.
Federal revenue.
I'm going to do it. Do you mind if I play
this?
this? It might take a little bit, but can I just play this?
Just tell someone. Just tell
No,
them.
I'm going to
It's
help
simple.
you learn. We're going to learn. This is
Oh my
one of
gosh.
my favorite
This would be a fun
economists.
conversation, but you're exhausted.
You want to learn something? Let's all learn
If you wanna
something
change
together.
hearts, then just
Do you
change
not?
your
I'm just
tone.
going to prove you wrong. Do you want to be proved wrong and have it explained to you? This is Robert Reich. He is Clinton's labor secretary. He is a professor at UC Berkeley, and he made a video for people who give Andrew Jacksons to rich people to debunk tax myths like the sad one you're telling now.
Naturally, these proposals have unleashed a torrent of opposition, mostly from the rich. Here are the 12 biggest myths they are propounding. Myth. A top marginal tax rate applies to all of a person's total income or wealth.
Why aren't you giving 70% of your income to the government? You could.
You're going to tax 70% of your paycheck.
Wrong. It would only apply to dollars in excess of a certain level. The 70% income tax rate proposed by Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez would apply only to dollars in excess of $10 million a year. The 2% wealth tax proposed by Elizabeth Warren would apply only to wealth in excess of $50 million. Myth. Raising taxes on the rich is a far left idea.
She wants to radically tax the rich. Taxing rich people, that's an old saw from the left.
Baloney. 70% of Americans, including 54% of Republicans, support raising taxes on families making more than $10 million a year. And expecting the rich to pay their fair share is a traditional American idea. From 1930 to 1980, the average top marginal income tax rate was 78%. From 1951 to 1963, it exceeded 90%. Again, only on dollars in excess of a very high threshold. Even considering all deductions and tax credits, the very rich paid over half of their top incomes in taxes. Myth. A wealth tax is unconstitutional.
Bad idea.
And it's likely unconstitutional. Sounds great. Not constitutional, I don't think.
Rubbish. Most locales already impose an annual wealth tax on the value of people's homes, the main source of household wealth for most people. It's called the property tax. The rich hold most of their wealth in stocks and bonds. So why should these forms of wealth escape taxation? Article 1, Section 8 of the Constitution gives Congress the power to lay and collect taxes. Myth. When taxes on the rich are cut, they invest more and everyone benefits. When taxes on the rich are increased, economic growth slows.
The frightening thing about high marginal tax rates is that it leads us into a low productivity economy.
They're going to stop creating jobs. If you raise the interest rates, they'll stop investing money. They'll stop borrowing money. And that has a trickle-down effect.
Utter baloney. Trickle-down economics is a cruel joke. Donald Trump, George W. Bush, and Ronald Reagan all cut taxes on the rich, and nothing trickled down. There's no evidence that higher taxes on the rich slows economic growth. To the contrary, when the top marginal tax rate has been high,
Let's have a
between
conversation.
71 and 92%, growth has averaged
Enough.
4% a year.
Enough. Felicia, have your own.
Why
have
is
your
it
own-
enough? You're wrong
Because-
about
okay,
everything
but-
you said, Corey.
Can I-
Corey, other than
Okay.
I have a lot of rich friends I like to get
Listen.
on my knees for, every single thing you said is mathematically incorrect.
Please.
Just say, I don't understand the tax system,
It's-
and I'm giving Andrew Jacksons to my rich friends. So I just said something I didn't fully understand. It's not true.
You will win hearts by giving others the opportunity to.
You don't need to win your heart. You're not right.
Let me tell you one thing. Do you agree that as of the last accurate study in
keep going, there's 8 more myths
in
that
22
would, before you say delusional things. You weren't even listening.
Let me
Maybe we should start over.
Guys, someone moderate.
I'm done with him. He wasn't even listening to the video. I'm done with him.
No, he was just looking to respond. And but nothing he's saying is true. There's no truth to trickle down economics. Every single time we've lowered taxes for the rich, we have not, the middle class has not made, well, there's no middle class. The rest of the poor have not consolidated any wealth. Mathematically, it is not true.
Oh, that's funny.
Hold on, Laura. Please. People are asking, where do you get that video? Is it on your page?
Yeah, I'll send it to you right now and you can put it in your Discord. No, but Robert Reich is the most amazing person. Like, if you like Bernie Sanders, and his message, like I said, he was Clinton's labor secretary. He was a professor at UC Berkeley, and he is the best teacher on the lies of the billionaire class. And I'll put this in my Discord right now. If you want, in my link tree, you can join my Discord, and then I'll send the link to I'm sending it to him right now. But I will, here, Justin, if you want to put it up in your background. Oh my God, I almost texted myself. And you can, because this is my pet peeve when people are like, well, if we tax the rich, or I don't understand tax rates, effective tax rates, like none of that is correct. I sent it to you. I'm going to at everyone in my Discord.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, guys, if you're asked about my Discord, I share Discord with Noel. It's also on my link tree, so you can find me there. It's called Covfefe's Corner. So we share a Discord. So we have a lot of the same followers, so that's where I'm at. I'm also, if you guys don't know who Monica is, she recently passed. One of the most wonderful people you'll ever meet. I'm in her Discord a lot, too, and that's another way you can reach out to me. Those are the 2 I'm in. We are always celebrating Monica at Monica's Discord. So 2 places you can find me. Also, I think we have some people here.
And you can follow Robert Reich on TikTok. And he has like 10 million followers on Facebook. I think even Republicans are learning from that guy. It's at RB Reich. And it's spelled like Reich, but he's Jewish. Reich. It's pronounced Reich, though.
Perception, are you a Trump supporter?
Yeah, I am.
Perceptive. Okay. What brings you up today? I'll let you decide what you want to talk about.
I just had a real quick question for you, because when you guys were having a conversation with the last gentleman, you guys made the statement that there are Americans being beaten for being too brown.
You mean being discriminated against for being too brown? Yes.
Well, that's not what you said. You said Americans are being
No, I mean, wait, let me clarify. On Wednesday, a brown American citizen born in America with a birth certificate and social security was beaten within an inch of his life. I have the video. Do you want to listen to him being beaten?
No, I don't want to listen to that.
No, well, I just want to be clear. Yes, this happened on Wednesday. It was recorded by a bunch of other American citizens who were actively screaming he was an American citizen, but his name was like Angel Pena, or I can't, he was a little bit too brown. So yes, on Wednesday, an American citizen who has a birth certificate and social security number, and there's many more instances of this if you do your research, was beaten to the point of concussion and confusion for the crime of being too brown.
Well, I would hope you would want to be clear about that, because that's kind of what I was asking for you to do. But what was his name?
Well, let me just play the sound. Let me pull up let me get the video for you. Let's all relive the horrors of it together.
I'm just asking.
And by the way, dozens of people this has happened to. If you're under the impression this is an isolated incident, then I would say to you to do some research as to what's going on. And all of these lawsuits that are coming for this will be paid out by our tax dollars, which should be super great for the rest of us. But yeah, don't worry. I do tons of research, and I run a show called The People's Receipts, because I always keep the receipts. Like, I don't make a claim I can't back up. That would be pretty dumb, right?
You sound like Trump. He brought receipts to quite a few interviews, didn't he?
Trump are you joking? You must be kidding. That's hilarious. It's got to be the most ignorant. Here we go. And I'll put this in the Discord. I'll send this. I'll put this in my Discord and I'll text it to Justin. ICE detained U.S. citizen outside grocery store, beat him with baton, shoved his head into the ground, and gave him a concussion. I told them this is the quote from the man who was beaten. I told them where I was born. I had an ID, a social, a birth certificate. He said they didn't care about none of that. End quote. Now in the hospital, after his family says he passed out twice and couldn't stop vomiting. Video evidence shows he must have been given a concussion by agents during arrest. Angel Pina, it's Pina, if Angel, if you can, because I am an indigenous Mexican. If you are not a white person who can't pronounce someone's name, Angel Pina was racially profiled for arrest during an ICE raid at a Stater Brothers market store in Ontario, California. Now let's listen to the horrors of the beating.
Yeah, now real quick before
you asked. You thought I just said something, so now we're all going to listen to the horrors of the beating together.
Excuse you, my bad.
In Ontario, another ICE raid and another U.S. citizen taken into custody.
I'm right here, Angel. I'm right here.
Angel Pina says he was minding his own business when masked federal agents showed up at the Stater Brothers. Customers began to shout at them, telling them to leave, but some went inside the store. Nearby doorbell video shows Pina running away, approaching a passing SUV looking for help, but the agents wound up violently taking him into custody.
Wait! Joey! Wait!
They were shoving my head against the ground, elbowed me, and they used forcefully a baton to literally pierce my side.
Pina says he tried explaining to the agents that he was an American, but they ignored him.
I know. Just stop for a second.
I told them I was born. I had an ID, I had a social, I had a birth certificate, and none of the officers, the ICE agents that were on scene, they didn't care about none of that.
Only when a supervisor showed up was he released. Earlier this month, a federal judge here in Los Angeles ordered the Trump administration to stop ICE agents from targeting people based on their skin color, accent, or job.
And do you know why a federal judge said that? Because the head of ICE, Tom Homan, said specifically in several interviews that they were, in fact, targeting people based on their skin color, their accents, and their job, which is absolutely unconstitutional.
Yeah, I would absolutely agree with that. However, what somebody else said outside of this situation doesn't answer to what they would have used as the reason they stopped him. And my first immediate question, and obviously you got to understand, I've not looked into this situation myself, so this is nothing.
You came up here accusing me of making something up, and then I just happened to have the receipt. And by the way, I have 30 more of these. I have 30 more of these if you want to listen to them.
Okay, well, I never accused you of making anything up, but what I was saying was...
You did. You implied I just said something and couldn't back it up.
No, I simply asked you a question. I literally started my conversation with...
Next time you see me on a live, don't make the same mistake.
Okay, whatever you say. I'm sure you guys have a recording of it, so check it back. But what I was getting at was, it sounded at the beginning of that video that he ran from authorities, or no?
So ICE agents are authorities.
Are you saying that if you can't leave a place if you're an American citizen, you're at your workplace and he ran to get help? He was trying to stop other passersby and alert them to other people being beaten. And you're saying an American citizen, a concerned citizen, can't go try to flag down other cars to alert them that other people are having... Well, no, what are you saying? I'm super confused right now. Why don't you explain it?
If you're confused about what I'm saying, why would you try to claim what you think I'm saying?
Are you kidding?
That's not very reasonable.
Bless your heart. Whatever. What's the point? What's the point?
I simply came up here to ask you a question and get the name of an American.
Okay, I think I delivered the receipts. Now you've got it. Angel Pina, Pina. We are sorry that you thought it. The fact you don't know. Dozens and dozens, hundreds of people this has happened to who are American citizens who made the crime. They just have too much melanin. And if I seem a little bit upset, yeah, I'm an indigenous Mexican, right? But thank God my mother is more white, so I sit in, white privilege. But my father is half black and half indigenous Mexican, so I've seen similar things happen to him. He worked in the fields, he was a migrant worker. So yeah, if I'm speaking with too much passion for you, I apologize, but it's personal.
Nobody claimed that. You make a lot of assumptive claims, don't you?
I didn't make a claim. I told you something personal about myself, so you might understand where my emotion is coming from about it. I was trying to share something personal so you would understand me better.
Well, you should have kept the personal out of it and just brought the facts. That's all I asked.
Yeah, it sucks when people bring up personal things because then you have to be faced with your own bigotry. Yeah, it sucks.
I know. God forbid you just answered the question with a fact. I mean,
Perceptive. I can give you another instance.
I did answer the questions with facts. The news report and the article, I spelled his name for you. Listen. You're
clueless. You missed everything.
I'm clueless. Let me tell you, there's 3 people on this live. One person is clueless. There's a 33% chance it's you. Put a 1 in the chat if this man is clueless. Let's just figure out. There's objective observers. This is not my live. This is the first time I've ever done this on this one.
You're clueless.
Let's just figure out who's clueless. That's a lot of people that think you're clueless of the 3 of us.
Wonderful. It's
a lot of people that have decided that it's you. The call is coming from inside the house. Stop trying to deflect and project onto us. It's not us that don't know what's going on. The call is coming from inside the house.
So then if it's me that's clueless, you wouldn't mind me telling you, right? It's really
me what?
Because I came in here, my starting statement was, and the host even said, I'll let you say what you want to say. So I literally said, I have a simple question. And then you wanted to talk about how I had, claims and ideas beyond a question. You wanted to claim that I had a statement to make when all I did was ask you for a name. You had a whole 8-minute delivery to tell me a 2-second name. And I'm clueless?
Perceptive. I don't know if you know how debates work, but we bring facts, and sometimes they're a little bit long-winded, or it could be a video, or it could be an article. It doesn't have to be. If I just told you like something without facts behind it, what would make you believe me or not, right?
Well, see, here's the thing. I wasn't asking you so that I could believe you. You guys made a statement, so I asked you for a name so that I could research the statement. That's how research works. That's how knowledge works. You don't just hear what someone says and then believe it. That's called bullshit, is what that is.
Yeah, so we did your homework for you. Why are you upset that we did your homework for you?
You're welcome. So you're welcome.
Hold on, let me ask
you're welcome.
So if you did
you're
my
welcome.
Homework
That
for
is
me, what your claim is
5 minutes.
Know,
none of us will ever have back. Time is a finite resource.
I know
and you're welcome. You're super welcome.
So what you're saying to me is you guys have said facts to me, and I should not do any more research. I should just believe you.
No, you can do your own research, but we
have fingers and you're on a supercomputer. The fact you can't figure this out is truly terrifying. You're on a supercomputer, and I assume you have fingers. And if you don't, there's accessibility options. That's why there's voice searches on your phone.
You guys are helpless. So whatever you say.
There's no reason that you can't figure this out on your own, sir. You thought you were going to accuse me of not knowing what I was talking about, and it didn't go your way. And for Amy in the chat that says I'm too loud, let me help you, Amy. Stop carrying water for men. My entire life, I was silenced and interrupted by men. And one day I decided, I think I will talk over every man who has no idea what they're talking about. That's what's going on. And if I interrupt every man for the rest of my life who speaks idiocy and has no clue what he's saying, it will never make up for every idiot man that had no idea what they're talking about. So Amy, AIMEE, if this is too loud for you, this is a voluntary live, right? It's not compulsory. You don't have to be here.
Yep. I was trying to find who that was. Is it that Amy? It's Amy. Is this person? All right. Amy, come on up. or just stay. If you're upset about the volume, how about you come up here and actually say it with your voice?
Because I have a very expensive microphone and an audio mixer.
All right. All right. This person's obviously a Trump supporter. Dems, are you a Trump supporter?
Sure am.
All right. So how can you still support Trump after everything that's happened over the last 8 months?
Well, I think the great things have happened over the past 8 months. I mean, look at the S&P. I mean, that you don't think he's got a part of that? Come on, man.
So the inflation's up 2.17%. And go ahead, please. Go ahead and answer.
Oh, I love the S&P. It's my favorite stock market. You understand it's still not back to what it was.
At 9%.
So you like the stock market, right? I love the stock market. The S&P 500 is my passion. You must know it's never recovered from where it was before Trump.
It's 28% higher than what it was when Biden was in, so don't go there.
What?
That's not true at all.
You're out of your mind.
S&P has been up since for the past 2 years, so you want to go back to a year?
So 2 years, you understand? You're saying thanks, Joe Biden. Do you understand? Like 2 years ago, that is a thanks, Joe Biden.
It's up 9.25 in the past year. Don't tell me I'm wrong because it's
yes. Thanks, Joe Biden. Are you crazy?
He wasn't there a year
can
ago.
you
What are you
count,
talking about?
sir?
Within the past year,
can you count?
Ma'am,
Can you count?
Within the past 12 months, it has gone up 9.
Oh my God! Can someone help this man? Is someone
You're a fucking idiot? You don't know what you're talking
someone
about.
up here is an idiot and can't count. I promise you, it's not me.
Dem, when did Trump become president? What day did he become president? Dem, when did Trump become president? I need to know. I need to know what day.
We'll go 6 months. It's still 300 something. So.
So now
has the S&P risen in 6 months? Yes or no?
Is it higher than it ever was under Biden?
Has it risen in the past 6 months? Yes or no?
Just say thank you, Joe Biden. Say thank you, Joe Biden. Turns out I can't count.
If the economy was so good, then why was inflation?
Yeah, you're moving the goalposts.
I can explain that. Do you want to have a good faith conversation? Because I can explain it.
Why was inflation high if it was a good economy?
Do you want to have a good faith conversation about it? I could take you month by month, quarter by quarter about how Joe Biden recovered the fastest in the developed world from COVID. Yeah.
Oh, sure. That was 5 years ago, so. Okay.
Oh, sir. Bless your
Sir, ma'am. It was 5 years ago. Move on from that.
Listen, and I don't blame you for the fact that Donald Trump has conditioned you to forget about a worldwide pandemic.
Well,
but
you're
that's
the one that...
Oh,
okay.
No, I mean, listen, I don't even want to fight with you. I'm really not as mean as I'm coming off. It's just like when people approach me and question my intelligence, then I'm going to push back. That's all. You were wrong. You have no idea when Trump became president. And let me help you with something about the stock market, because it is one of my passions. I love the S&P 500. Trump has been manipulating the market.
You're a liar. You're a liar. It's been over 44,000 for how long now?
Sir, what does TACO stand for?
How long has it been over 44,000?
Are you okay?
No, you're just wrong. You Democrats
why do you
ideologies.
And I don't know what to do with it. Justin, you have to take it from here. I don't think he's going to listen to me.
No,
I'm going to go. I have to go get some water.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm scared. We shouldn't have gotten rid of him. Like, is he okay? Sir, are you okay? Like, we need to help him. Come back up. We'll help you. It's okay.
Yeah.
Like, we need to. I'm scared for him.
Yeah, I just kind of hated that he kept on interrupting, and it was like you're in the middle of your point.
I think he was in crisis. We probably should have helped him. We can help you, sir. Come back up.
All right.
Well, I love talking about the stock market. If you don't understand that Trump is moving the stock market up and down, and then he'll be like, oh, the stock market's up from a month ago. Yeah, when you purposely drove the value down so a bunch of your friends with unbelievable amounts of capital could buy low. Yeah, I mean, capitalism is a sine wave, but Trump is a grifter like I've never seen. Trump is manipulating the stock markets.
Air, are you a Trump supporter?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what brings you up?
I just wanted to highlight the emphasis of AI and crypto as the main reason for why I voted the way I did.
I feel like we talked before. I think we've talked before.
I'm not
Maybe.
sure.
Do you remember me? We might have. I feel like I think I'm following you. So
Oh, it's possible, but
yeah, I think we talked before about this. Like, I want to just say something. This is the thing. I get it if you're passionate about crypto. I am too. Like, I came from the tech industry. I love the blockchain. Like, I love decentralized banking. But watching billionaires pervert it to move money, to grift and move money in ways that is not great, it's not a good thing, right? Like, I love the blockchain and decentralized banking. It is my passion. And then as far as AI, and I think we might have had this conversation, I haven't debated for like over a month, and I remember your voice because it's so sweet. No, seriously, I feel like I remember you. I just and we talked about this, and I talked about the amount of energy and energy grids. Like, we talked about Texas. Remember Abilene? You brought up
correct.
You brought up Abilene, Texas, and I talked about the power grids. Trump is saying publicly that we're leading AI. And I said, look up the research paper for the company in DeepSeek. There's a 40-year-old quants trader in China who is running. Everyone should download DeepSeek. It does things that are inexplicable. There's a 40-year-old quants trader in China using half the power that has a better large language model. We are not leading in AI. It's just something that Trump is saying. And I'm super passionate about this. And I remember talking to you about this. And you're the sweetest guy. And I just, again, read the research paper for DeepSeek if you're interested in like the future of AI and large language models.
Right, but so since that last time, a lot of things have been updated, and as you know, the industry moves really fast. But my main thing is that it was a priority, and not to give Trump full credit, but to give him credit to appoint someone that knows way more than he does on the topic, which is David Sachs, which is the guy. He is the guy.
David Sachs is not an engineer. He's just a rich guy. You do know that.
No,
David Sachs is not a coder. He's not an engineer.
You can't say that. He's part of the PayPal mafia.
It's factual.
He's part of the PayPal mafia.
Are you under the impression that David Sachs is an engineer?
No, I'm under the impression that
I came from the tech
payment
industry.
services to the world.
Well, the PayPal mafia is made up of some rich people. That does not engineers make.
Right, correct. But when everybody points to these rich billionaires, and I understand. But the thing is, AI and crypto gives the ability for an average person, if they increase their intelligence, and if they increase their understanding of those subject matter, it is a broad spectrum that it can reach people at the lowest levels if they become more informed on the subject matter, which gives them an opportunity that nothing else seemingly on the planet can give anybody. This is why it's my main thing, because I know it's the billionaires and to soon to be trillionaires that are going, taking advantage of it. But at the same time, I'm seeing it on my daily use of it and understanding of it, that it has the possibility to help average everyday people if they utilize it. If you don't utilize it, of course, you're going to get left in the dust. And this thing is moving at a speed that not even if you look at it every day, you're still going to get left in the dust. So what I'm saying is, for it to get prioritized and to be put on a platform with transparency through utilizing David Sachs, which he is well known in the industry, and utilizing the podcast, which they just held their AI summit, the All In podcast, that is broadening the scope to people that would never have been introduced to the conversations of these millionaires and billionaires having conversations to on a podcast, to have conversations to where you can sit and see how they're thinking about these things. And so when average people are able to look at this, anybody can go on their podcast and listen.
I listen.
And then
I
you
agree,
you have
and I
the
would
capability.
interrupt, but Jackie in the comments told me not to speak, so that's why I wasn't speaking. Yeah, I know. Like, we have had this conversation, and I agree. Listen to me. There are good things about AI, and I agreed with you the first time we had this conversation. I love AI. I use it to fact check myself. I use large language models in ways I don't think even average people do. I totally agree with you. But the problem is the deregulation and what is going on in the tech industry with deregulation around AI, right? Trump, just this last week, which we talked, I think, a couple weeks ago, right? He signed an executive order. Even more, right? The big, beautiful bill is like stopping states, right? What happened to states' rights, brother? Basically saying, stopping the deregulation of AI. He signed another executive order, which that was taken out, but then there was some language left in that, promotes that before someone says it, because I used large language models to analyze it. So I agree with you that it helps me do things I could not do, right? As just a regular human. Totally agree. The problem is that deregulating AI, read the Trump's executive order just last week. It basically says, and if you understand what has happened, Grok, which is the AI tool on X, went on this like schmatzy tirade and started attacking people like he was Mustache Man. And Trump signed an executive order that basically says that any AI models need to not be woke, not tell the truth, because wokeness is about statistical analysis and impact studies. It is a fact mathematically that Black people, brown people, women, the LGBTQIA are being disproportionately discriminated against. And Trump is changing the rules of AI and changing the parameters of it in order to tell a different reality, which is scary to me, right? He's trying to stop states. He said this again in his new executive order he signed. He said, there needs to be, I have the clip actually, I'll find it in a second. He said there needs to be federal rules, right? Remember when Trump, when he was taking rights from women, he said, states' rights, brother, like there can't be federal regulation around ABs, which, okay. And now he's saying the opposite because he's been bribed by tech billionaires. He's saying, I'm going to disempower the states because I've been bribed by tech billionaires like David Sachs. I'm going to consolidate power. And I would say deregulate the tech industry, but I come from the tech industry, so I understand it's never been regulated. It is the Wild West. And what is happening now, if you are not terrified, you should be.
I mean, I understand that it is the wild west when it comes to AI and crypto, but at the same time, when you look at AI, you can't allow the states at this point in time to basically try to make their own decision on that. That would just be like letting the states make military decisions. Everybody's having their own ways on how they want to run the military. You can't do that with AI. It's too powerful. This is the arms race of our generation. You can't allow, and it would slow the progress of AI. You got 50 different states wanting to have 50 different ideas of how they want to run AI.
Oh, it's about protecting children. It's about protecting children, protecting people from misinformation, protecting people from disinformation. You're saying that we should not stop the proliferation of disinformation, misinformation, and deregulation of AI. And you're saying that's a good thing. Like, I would argue mathematically, that's just not, I mean, for us, the average person in America, that's not true. Do I think AI is a great tool if properly regulated? Yes.
Yeah, I think it's definitely, like, I can agree with you on the aspect of the woke side of it, but I got to dig deeper into what it actually entails. But I know that from my research on AI and crypto, that, I mean, believe it or not,
two completely different issues. Just to be clear,
the community is built.
AI and crypto are not the same thing.
I think they're interchangeable, but yeah, we could But what I wanted to say on the community, if you see the people that are actually built, they have these same concerns. They talk about it publicly, and I actually look at to some of the people that are building AI and crypto. This is part of what they think about, like, fundamentally when they're building it. Like, this is the type of community that, like, if this community can't do it, then no community is going to ever do it. If this community can't build it the right way, it's just done. Like, and on top of this, we're dealing with China that doesn't care about anything that America, any of our, levels of, civility and all that. They don't give a damn about none of that. So that's the monster that we're dealing with on the other side, that they're pushing for full steam ahead with no regard to any of our civil, how we look at anything. They don't care. So that's the side that is pressing the issue, is because you're dealing with a monster on the other side of this that cares nothing about the environment, cares nothing about human rights. They don't care about anything. That's the monster on the other side.
If you believe that America cares about human rights, like, I think you have this perspective of American exceptionalism. Everything you are projecting onto China, we are guilty of and more. We have the larger military. We are polluting the environment. I think you are a little bit. If you feel that way about China, you're living in a nightmare, and you should do more research about it. We're guilty of everything you just accused China of.
Yeah, but
I can't hear you, Justin. Are you muted? Can you guys hear Justin? I can't hear Justin. I can't hear you. Should I drop and come back? I don't know what's going on. Can you guys hear Justin? Okay, they can't. Can you guys hear me? Who can't you hear? Can you hear me? Or can anyone hear anyone right now? We can't hear Justin. And me? Some people can hear. Can you hear Felice? Felice, we can hear you. Okay, that's what I was saying. I was like, Justin, I cannot hear you. Is something like a cord unplugged? Yeah. Should we restart the live? Because I cannot hear you. No, I know. Maybe.
Sorry, I just had to shut off the
Now
whole
we can.
Okay. There we go. All right, let me get a background here.
It's not that I wasn't trying to let the guy speak. I just know I talked to him for an hour and a half once. Like, he's a very nice guy. I just don't think necessarily, like, he's nice. Just not.
I honestly, I'm not well versed in the crypto market. It's not something like I dabbled, but I don't like have any like thoughts or feelings on it. So that's why I was like, oh, let's just move on from that. Like, I want to get back onto mainly politics. I know crypto can be political. I don't think it's the most, it's an issue, but I don't think it's the most pressing issue. And most people don't want to hear about it, don't want to have it as a conversation as here. So that's why I moved on from him. If you are a Trump supporter, get in the box. Guys, I'll probably be on for another half hour. So we'll probably call it in about a half hour. And then we'll move on from there. But Felice, while we got a little downtime again, people who don't follow Felice, she hosts a live called The People's Receipts. Can you tell us a little bit about that and when you're on, Felice?
Oh, yeah. Sorry. That's so nice of you to do that. Don't put me on the spot. I get shy. No, yeah. I just host a live called The People's Receipts. I do a lot of research and just talk every day with facts and information, clips, research studies, whatever, to talk about what's going on and like debunk delusional conservative and Republican lies. Because, like, I think everyone feels like they're going insane in this world. I used to be a second grade teacher. I used to work in advertising, which basically my job was to spread misinformation and disinformation. I also used to work in the tech industry. And so I have a history degree. I was a historical researcher. So I think like I have this unique skill set. So I decided to try to keep people sane during this time. So yeah, I just basically go through the 24-hour news cycle and debunk Trump's delusional lies.
And Felice, on your page, on your Linktree, Discord, correct?
Yeah, there's an invite to my Discord. I saw someone be like, "What the hell is a Discord?" It's an app. It's an app. Like, it's a community of people that you can hang out in where, like, like I make research. I make, I'm trying to think of how to say this, research outlines every day that include clips and everything, articles. As a woman on the internet, I have learned the lesson of don't say anything unless I have 10 sources. You saw that guy that came up here was like, "You're just saying something and you don't know what you're talking about." I always know what I'm talking about. So then I try to use my Discord to provide those sources. But also, yeah, everyone in the Discord is absolutely brilliant and amazing. If you're looking for some sanity in the world, like, it's the best group of people to hang with.
Yes. And yeah, her show is amazing. I try to catch it when I'm at work when I can. Now, I am starting a new position in 2 weeks at same place I'm working at, but I will be able to just put on the headphones and actually watch Felice this time and not have to be busy with busy work that requires my audio and my vision as much. So I'm excited about that. If you are a Trump supporter, I would appreciate if you can come up. We can have have whatever conversation. I usually like to have you guys dictate what you want to talk about, because at least I know you're going to be at the most versed in that area at that point, right? You come up here, you choose what topic you want to talk about. You're going to be the most versed in that topic. It's going to make for the best conversation. Oh, thank you, Mary. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about my new position. It's quite the raise. If anybody really
Cool.
cares.
I didn't know about that. What is
it? It just happened on Tuesday. And I got a gifting suspension. I don't know why they do that. There we go. That should be back up in a few minutes. Yeah, I got a new position. It's going to pay about $17,000 more a year, so that's good news. It's actually one of my old positions that I got back, so I'm pretty excited to be back to where I was. So
it's amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you.
However we survive in capitalism is keep going. Eke out your existence any way you can. I support you. And you deserve it. You're the kindest, nicest person. Like, truly. I mean that genuinely.
I appreciate that. I just try to be as nice as I can. Sometimes Trump supporters get the worst of me. They don't get Spicy Justin doesn't come out often, but when it does, it gets a little crazy.
God. Yeah, me too. Like, your worst is my best.
Also, guys, what else I was going to say? I do have Linktree as well, Discord. I share a Discord with Noelle. Noelle, if you guys know Noelle, she's Makeup by Noelle. She carved out a corner for me just to use her part of her platform to kind of have a spot where people can reach me. I don't post there as much as I probably should, but I also want a place for people who follow me to be able to contact me. I think that's the most important thing. Like, I don't read all my TikTok messages. There's just too much goes on there. So the easiest way is contacting by Discord. Discord name is Covfefe, and then just a picture of Chit. If you guys don't know who Chit is, you've been living under a rock. But yes, sorry, Felice. It looked like you were about to say something.
Who is it? I don't know. I'm
know
so
Chit.
sorry. Wait, do I? I
Yeah.
don't know. I feel so stupid for asking. I already feel dumb. What are we? Who? No, I don't know who that is.
Oh,
Is this,
my
like, the
goodness.
wrongest? Yeah, I feel so wrong. I don't know. I don't go on the internet because I get a lot of horrible messages.
Do it, lady.
Wait, who is that though? Like, who should I be following?
They're this comedy group that just started back in May.
But spell it.
Oh, his name is Jay Renshaw, or you can just look up Chit, CHIT.
Okay, that's what I was asking.
Yep. I'm probably the biggest.
Oh, okay, I found it. Got it. It's if you want to it's Chip, but it's clipped daily, like spelled like you think. At it's clipped daily.
Yeah, the name, I think the main creator is Jay Renshaw, if you want to check that out. But yes, fantastic. Makes me laugh almost every time. So if you guys, I got nothing for Chit. Yeah. If you guys actually subscribe, I do have some stickers. We have the Do It Lady. Do It Lady, you know? Yes. So please check him out. He's a comedy sketch. I always appreciate their comedy. It's pretty good. Anyways, that's my...
Oh, do you know them? Like, how do you, like... Oh,
just a
okay,
big fan.
you're just like, I like this. Okay, cool.
Just a big fan. I will watch, they come out new episodes every Monday and Thursday. I call it Chit Thursday when he comes out on Thursdays. But yes, everybody knows if they're on Monica's Discord. I am all about the Chit, and I will do a lot of Chit things, like success, yeah.
Political, or is it just random? I'm excited.
It's just random. So, like, here's... Well, you can't see that, so... let me pull up some more. This is his evil face. You'll have to get the joke for that, I guess. What's a good one? I can't show that one on a live. Well, back to it then.
I like it. I mean, I like the idea. He looks kind of like Rainn Wilson in The Office. Yeah. Like, I like what I'm seeing. I think we all need to laugh.
It's a lot like The Office. So, yeah, if you're looking for a laugh, just start from the beginning and go right through it. They got really big because of the black purse joke. And maybe you might have saw that one. I'm not a huge fan of the black purse joke. That one was a little iffy for me.
What is it? Can we not talk about it?
Long story short, he walks into the room, asks, "Hey, is there a black person here?" And everybody's like, "Excuse me?" He's like, "Yeah, is there a black purse in here?" But he says black person in here. So yeah, it's all like just wordplay, and then pretty much the black person in the skit's like, "Excuse me, I'm gonna teach you a lesson here." And then she's like, "Oh, I found it," and pulls up a black purse. And like, "Were you saying is there a black person here?" He's like, "Yeah, success." That's the whole thing. I think it's funny, but I also it's weird.
I don't think black people think that's funny. Just my dad's black. I don't know if he'd think that's funny, but
yeah, I saw a lot of people like that's why I'm kind of like I'm always on the fence on that one. But some people loved it, some people didn't, and that's why I'm like that one's not much for me. But everything else, love.
Oh, I get what you're saying now. I was confused for a second.
Yeah.
Anyways, not funny. I love you. God, I love Eastern Europeans. No, always say exactly one of my favorite people in the comments. Whatever I'm wrong, she's like, "You're wrong." Like, I'm wrong. I know for sure. Because when Vishnu says it, I'm wrong. 100%. Not funny.
And then we also got...
the couch.
Yeah. Coldplay concert, believe it or not. But yes. Anyways, guys.
Do you want to end early? Or
we might as well. We're not getting any Trump supporters. I don't think. No, we're good. Yeah, we can go ahead and end it here. Anyways, Felice, are you going to be around tonight, or are you going to be just next show Monday?
I'll be back doing the People's Receipts on Monday. I'll be around, whatever. Just text me about, whatever. I ran 10 miles earlier. I need to take a little break from thinking. In the heat, in the Arizona, it was like 95 degrees when I stopped. So I'm going to go hydrate and eat some food. Thank you guys. I'm not normally as mean as it seems like I am. I just don't like people that don't know what they're talking about yelling at me that I don't know what I'm talking about. Like, just as a woman, it gets personal at times. Like, I do know what I'm talking about. I have to be 200% right as a woman on the internet, or, I'm wrong. So I always know what I'm talking about. That's where it comes from. It's not that I'm mean. I have way too much empathy, and I care too much what people think.
You're fine, Felice. Honestly, I think people are just bigots and misogynist, and I wouldn't worry about it at
Crazy all. Monsoon, hi, it's good to see you. Anyways, let's do this again, though. This was so fun. Let's do this again. Please. I love you. Yes. And you calm me down. Like, I actually am much crazier in other situations.
No, I appreciate it, Felice. I appreciate that you coming to join me today. I appreciate it so much. I love you so much.
Thank